Hi, I'm Geoff Wilson. I'm the founder and president of 352. And today I'm going to talk to you about the Circle strategy, which is our approach to managing projects. A couple years ago, we changed how we approach projects and the results have been phenomenal. Our projects are getting done a lot quicker, and our client satisfaction and employee morale have both gone up dramatically as a result. And here's the really cool thing. I believe that the principles that we now use for project management apply well to any organization or company, no matter what industry you happen to be in. So I'm excited to share those with you today. So here's the Circle strategy. The Circle strategy, by the way, is a play off of our company logo. We actually designed our new logo to symbolize our approach to projects. The interconnecting rings in our logo symbolize the different steps of these principles that I'm going to share with you. The first is working in dedicated teams. You see, the way that we used to approach projects, as many organizations do, is that we would have employees in different departments. You might have your designers here and your programmers here and your project managers here in our case. And when a new project came in, we would take, maybe this person and this person and this person and have them pair together on the project. This approach works fine if you're a smaller organization, but as you grow and grow, it becomes more and more chaotic. And as more and more projects come in, you have more and more people sharing responsibilities on a lot of different projects. Employees start to feel siloed. They start to have a lack of ownership in the end result of the work that they're doing, and as a result, quality starts to suffer. So we decided that in order to get big, we needed to get small. And for us, that didn't mean lay people off. That meant instead break our company into several cross-functional dedicated teams that act almost as their own small business unit within our organization. Now, what's unique about our approach, a lot of companies use teams, but what's unique is the fact that these teams are permanent teams that stay together from the beginning of the project to the end of the project and then move from project to project together. Again, very much like being a small business within our organization. The next thing that we did was we gave each of these dedicated teams focus. This means that we allow them to work on one project and only one project from start to completion. Now, this is much different than what you commonly find in the agency world or the IT world, where multitasking is the norm. But we thought about things and said, if you allow your employees to focus, if you allow your employees to do one thing at a time, you're going to get the optimal result. They are able to achieve what's called a flow. There's been a lot of research done about this recently, some studies at prominent universities like Stanford, which document the flow that somebody gets in if you eliminate multitasking and allow them to deeply concentrate on one thing at a time. And we found that this concept is extremely true in the way that we work now and giving our employees that opportunity to focus. So we've got these dedicated teams that are focused on one project at a time, working efficiently. The next thing that we did was we organized their work into short bursts called sprints. Now, this concept comes from Agile software development, if you've ever read anything about that before. The idea is that you organize the project into short segments of time. In our case, we typically do either 1 week or 2 week sprints. At the beginning of the sprint, the team gets together and they look at all of the items, all of the stories or tasks that need to be accomplished to get that project to completion. And they, as a team, determine how many of those items they can get complete within that sprint period of time. And complete means get them 100% done, fully tested, and ready to fully demonstrate and hand over to the client at the end of that period of time. So when people have to think in short bursts, when they think in these small increments, it kind of changes their approach. There's one key to something I just said, and that's that we allow our teams to decide which of the items they can get done within that short burst, within that 1 or 2 week sprint period. And this leads to empowerment. Our teams are empowered. They are accountable naturally because they're making their own decisions. We no longer have project managers or members of leadership who are handing down deadline dates and orders to our teams. Rather, our teams are making those commitments themselves. And as a result of that, those commitments are being hit much more often, and the end result is always better. The next thing that we build into our process is the ability to innovate and iterate. You see, we believe that with how quickly technology is moving today, it's silly to think that you could write this really detailed project document and work on it for, develop out that project for months and months, and that is going to lead to the best result at the end of that period of time. We believe that instead, you're better off being agile and embracing change in your project management process. If you embrace change throughout and you allow the team to shift and change direction, it encourages innovation. And as disruptive thoughts and ideas enter the process during the project, it allows those ideas to actually be encapsulated into the end product instead of everyone being scared of new ideas and wanting to issue change orders and call it scope creep and have additional charges as a result. Working in the short bursts, working in the sprints, allows innovation to occur very naturally, because at the end of every 1 or 2 week sprint period, the team can get back together, assess what the next set of tasks or stories are that need to be done, and look at how to reprioritize based upon new ideas which may have entered the thinking over that prior week or two. So that's how our teams operate. The next question was, how do we then bring our clients into the fold? Now, we, of course, work with clients on digital media projects, but your clients may be internal. You may have internal stakeholders. The same principle applies no matter what. And what we did, which we found tremendously beneficial, is we put our clients in the center of everything. Now, what that means is complete and total transparency with the client and involving them deeply in every step of the process. We do this in part through a daily ritual called a stand-up. A stand-up is a 15-minute meeting which takes place at the same time every single day, and during that meeting, every member of the project team says directly to the client what they worked on in the last 24 hours, what they're going to work on in the next 24 hours, and any roadblocks they're encountering. These meetings are tremendously powerful because not only do they give complete transparency, but the team has the ability to collaborate. The client has the ability to help the team overcome any roadblocks that they're encountering. I think that this concept of doing these daily stand-up meetings works great for any organization, even if you aren't doing a project. In fact, I've shared this concept with some of my friends who run other companies, and they've implemented it amongst their internal departments. And they bring their department together, or in some cases their entire company together, to do a stand-up meeting every morning for 15 minutes, during which every single person talks about what they did and what they're going to do and any roadblocks they're encountering. And they found that having these meetings gets everyone in the organization on the same page and helps the different people in their organization help each other overcome roadblocks. So I think having those stand-up meetings are really, really valuable. So that's the new approach that we take. That is our circle strategy. That's what we built our logo off of. But there was one final benefit that we got from all of this. In addition to projects getting done quicker and client satisfaction going up and employee morale going up, there was one more benefit that we didn't necessarily see at the beginning, but has turned out to be one of the biggest benefits of all of that. And that is a renewed passion for work. Since we made all of these changes, our employees have become much more passionate about what they're doing. And I believe this is because if you take someone and you allow that person to work as part of a team and really feel the camaraderie of being on that team, and you allow that person to focus on what they're doing, you help them organize their work into a very consumable way of short bursts, short sprint cycles, so it's very easy for them to consume. You empower them and you give them the ability to think and innovate and iterate. You're going to see a lot more passion coming from that individual. That leads to your employees having more pride in the work that they're doing, quality of work goes up, and most importantly, when your employees come into the office each day, you're going to see big smiles on their faces. And ultimately, that is what the circle strategy is all about. Thank you.